Okay, here we go. So I am picking to the fourth seat. I am also heating up my dinner, so I might be like in and out a little bit. We're playing on the base map. We're playing a fan factions game, which we haven't gotten in quite some time. We're playing against Snake Xer and Murillo M9 and Reminder Q, who I haven't seen in quite a while. I think that maybe they don't play a lot of Arena, which is why I haven't played with them in too many games. So it's a round 6 towns game. We've got the goats picking the first seat. They actually generally tend to make towns a little earlier than that, so maybe they just try to build big buildings in the last round instead of this round. We've got treasurers who have a hard time securing territory. We've got goblins, and black is a good color on this map, so maybe goblins have some play here. There's also tent shipping in the game, which could be good for goblins. They could try to do what alchemists do and maybe try to like tent ship and buy a priest and get 2 shipping in round 1 because they don't dig as well as darklings do. Let's put in. I think that we should at least have one faction that's a base faction. And green is a bad color. I think brown is a good color here. So it's a round 4 digs game. So let's toss halflings into the game. So instinctively, I like black on this map, but actually instinctively, I think I like halflings. Halflings are a very strong faction. So let's see. Power-wise, halflings are getting the double dig in round 1, likely. Like if I'm black, maybe I'm starting double E's. I don't know. Halflings kind of make the color wheel a little nasty. Maybe blue is a little better. I think that realistically it was blue or brown here, and I wound up picking brown. Mermaids are a little simpler. Mermaids in this game would have been absolutely disgusting. Maybe they would have been too good. So I'm kind of glad I did it this way. Halflings taking this is also killer to the treasurers. I would love as treasurers if I could get the big building tile, because treasurers, remember, like they can stash their income, but they struggle to get worker income going. Stashing workers from here would be absolutely filthy, but it's very difficult to get onto that tile if you're not picking into the 4th seat. So I'm just going to keep putting ticks on halflings. I think you just start e6, f5. There's arguably a case for starting double east and letting goblins just have this center. We'll see how we choose to proceed there. Goblins, it's not obvious how you're supposed to play this. I do think halflings are very good here. The annoying thing is that the 2 weak factions are also color neighbors with each other. Like, I think that the goats, the dynion geifr, aren't that bad anymore. Now they start with fire too. However, are they getting this priest? Probably not, right? Goblins might start with a priest, and then that's all quite bad. I think that halflings need to go down at least 10 points before I'm really willing to consider treasures or goblins. Red also just has issues with town spaces, right? Like, chaos magicians, like, it's annoying that treasures are red because they kind of play a lot like chaos magicians, where like you just want to kind of build tall early, and not really expand too much until late. But when you have a color neighbor like the goats, you might just have lost all your town space already by that point. Like, when are you supposed to build this C5 hex if you're treasurers? That said, goats are also struggle to like take up too much real estate, so you might be okay in that sense as treasurers. But yeah, I don't love it. I think I would like to play the goats once they get up to like, once these factions are down maybe 10 to 15 points. I don't really want to play halflings here, but I do think that halflings are going to have a good game. I will put them down to 25, and then maybe I'll consider bidding on one of these guys. Goblins are also good, admittedly. Maybe I'm not giving them quite enough credit right now. Let's see, where are your towns as goblins? And do you connect as goblins? I think halflings you just place here and here. You try to make it, well, so the awkward thing about halflings, right, is that you might not get a center town. The goats could beat you to both d4 and to g2. You might also not be able to get out 2 dwellings in round 1 because goblins might be crowding you. So the play might be as halflings to play double east and then try to ship your way down to here. Oh no, you probably just town like this with one of your towns with a bridge. And then over here, I don't know what you do over here. Goblins have to place one in the east, so the question is, are goblins placing e5? I think the goblins kind of have to place e5. There will be a race to this. So if halflings just start where you like normally place, which is here and here, then you might not get a center town, and then you have to ship pretty aggressively to get to the north so you can get a town up here, especially if goblins are also crowding you here. So it's not that trivially brilliant for halflings. There also legitimately is a world where treasurers can get this big building tile, and like if they do, they're completely different. Like it's hard to emphasize just how completely different of a game it is for treasurers if they actually do manage to get that big building tile. God, what is even the plan for goats here? Do you get a dig action in round 1? Is anyone contesting the single spade? You're starting with a priest, most likely. You don't have a lot of good town space, because I think that goblins are going to fight you here, right? Goblins are going to come down through here. Probably cut across, take away g6 from you. Treasures are likely to just start on d7. So, what are you really doing then? Treasures, you're probably just playing tall until round 3, but round 3 is a temple round, so you don't have a lot to score on that round anyway. You just want to treat that as like your dwellings round, right? You just want to build dwellings in round 3, because you don't really want to build dwellings this or this round. So I don't really like treasures here. I think that you might have a town go through here. You might have a bridge town coming through here. You might have a town coming through here. But if that's the case, goblins have lost their town through here, which is awkward. Yeah, this is actually a pretty awkward color wheel. I don't really love this that much. As goats, you're probably just looking for a town through here and hoping that halflings don't crush you on g2. As for here, I don't know what you do about this. You probably just don't make a town here. And then maybe you try to ship across here and hope to beat treasures to e3. It seems kind of desperate to me, but yeah, the main question with the goats is how are we generating digs? Can we afford to possibly advance digs this round? Shoot up the fire cult, advance digs, and then just dig down our stuff here. There's not a lot of points on this track other than these 2 events. I mean, these 2 events are big, but you really have to set yourself up for them. Goats, you probably want to play culty. I think that there's a chance here that you get the big building tile. If you get the big building tile as treasures, then I actually think that this might be correct. But if you don't get the big building tile, then this is wrong. So if I get bid off of treasures, I don't think I'm bidding them again. No one's sure exactly how to value all the factions. I think that seems pretty wise because it seems very difficult to value factions right now. I'm gonna go off for a moment and check on the status of my food. Oh, unfortunately, this game started. Okay. So we are placing here. That's for certain. Um, we're placing over here, I think. We don't want to let goats get this town, probably. So yeah. Um, yep, this is awkward. Halflings started over here, which I think means that they want double dig. I think that this means that halflings are starting worker power, which might mean that I made a good read. Um, and goblins don't crowd halflings. Of course, like it makes sense for them not to crowd halflings, but this is never mind. Goats are going to be here, so they will have a neighbor. For some reason, I was suddenly thinking, oh, there's no neighbors over here. There are some color wheels where if brown and black don't crowd each other, then this east is very empty. But gray, of course, should always start on f6. Oh, they start h6. This is definitely good news for me. Yes. Oh, that's a beautiful sign right there. I am very happy with this pass. Um, I think that so we're definitely opening with a big building, or we're definitely opening with a temple, just a temple. The question is, what favor should we be taking? I believe that we should be starting with. My gut feeling is that we should just open with. Um, what am I trying to say here? I believe we should just be taking Fire 1. It's pretty basic, but Fire 1 will provide us almost all the coins that we need through this game. There's already coins here. Then round 2, we might just Sanctuary for Earth 2, and then that should basically take. Yeah, we're placing everything into the safe. I personally believe that this is the correct way to play treasures, but I easily accept that I could be wrong. So I think that our plan is to try to make a bridge town through here. and then a bridge town up here. And then maybe we try to ship and make a town here or here. If we're able to beat goblins to D3, then there's a town through here. Halflings might be looking at playing a slightly cultier game. Starting here often means that you don't connect. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I was saying that the goblins might be trying a shipping game plan. This certainly seems to point to that. It is a dwellings round in round 1, so I definitely see the appeal there. The priest unfortunately went. Yeah, it's unfortunate the priest is gone, but totally makes sense. Goblins are going to have tempo on B4 compared to me. I need to dig through C3 and then build B4 and dig through B4 to get that. So I might also just be trying to make a town like this, or like either a sanctuary town with these 3 hexes. I definitely want C3, I think. Yeah, we have some awkwardness here. Another good thing is that actually I might not need a bridge town. If I can get this E9 hex, which I'm actually not sure that I shouldn't be able to get this E9 hex, then this looks quite good as well. Okay, so far so good. Goats taking that hex I think is good news for me. Yeah, I think that we are just probably taking Fire 1 here. Fire 1 and then getting onto this, we actually literally just don't need coins for the rest of the game. It's kind of hilarious. One area where we are a little hampered right now is that we don't have great cult rewards going for us. Because we are going to be stashing our priests. Now, we don't need this cult reward, but we probably want this one, actually. So this round, I think we're going to be putting some priests to cults. I was talking about making a sanctuary in round 2. I still think that that's a pretty decent idea. I was thinking that the sanctuary should be for Earth 2, because that's good economy, and I do think that I want economy this game. Halflings took Earth 2, which I think that they were supposed to do. Cool. Yeah, goblins should be able to temple here, advance their ship. That'll put them at 3 coins, 2 dwellings. They can get out temple 4 dwellings this way, I believe, which would be very, very solid. The good thing is that they're not in a position to gain more leech, which is awkward for them. They're probably templing for Fire 1 here. Goats put a priest to fire, which I really don't like. I think that goats, you really want to just save your coins, like do exactly regular stuff with it. So if we pass on to here, then we should be able to double dig next round. But I guess the goats have double dig locked up next round, so I shouldn't worry too much about double digging. Oh, but I should, because they have this is still there, right? So this is tricky. Coins is still good, but if we pass on here, we could Sanctuary, double dig, and advance ship and get here, right? Do we have the coins for that? We don't have the... I guess we're stashing all these coins anyway. Sanctuary basically takes us out of contention for doing too much else. Like, we're not really advancing our ship. And we can't double dig without this anyway. How worth it is it to double dig this green hex? I would say the answer to that is actually it's not that worth it. That dwelling doesn't produce any income. Oh, it does. It does produce 1 income. I should be cognizant of that. But those 2 digs aren't that valuable for me, right? Like, I would rather be digging like B4 because I think that C3 is safe. Either this worker or all these coins can't be wrong. Yeah, all those coins can't be wrong. And I'm going to go check on some food status once again. Okay. Goats are thinking hard. They obviously need to make a temple here. I just realized that actually I will be able to double dig next round because the halflings have to be building these 2 hexes. They didn't come so far just to not build them, so that's good news for me. So what I want to know is, can I get away with taking Earth 1 here? We were talking about taking Earth 2, but can I get away with Earth 1? I think that's worth asking. One nice thing is that goblins might let me have D3. If they let me have D3, then they have neighbors on a town coming down through here, which would be cool. The goats just take Earth 1, so that's a little sad for me because goats are the faction who are most contesting double dig next round. I guess I should say that I'm not too concerned about losing out on Earth 1, right? I don't think that halflings are going to sanctuary Earth 1 to their first action. So my question should be, how interested am I in taking this double dig? halflings are thinking about whether or not they want to build this last dwelling. They could be passing on to the big building tile. But yeah, I think that building was just correct. I think that they might have feared on losing out on like a coins action or something, but I don't think that the goats are taking a coins action next round, so. We'll pay attention to what the goats do here. If they pass on to the big building tile, then it's whatever. However, if they pass on to the power tile, that would definitely indicate that they have ambitions about double digging next round. And they only need a single dig to get G2. And that actually puts them in a very strong position if they manage to get G2. They're probably going to want to play a culty game. They did pass onto the power tile. Okay, so they're thinking about digging. So here's a spot where halflings could have passed. They could have passed onto that same tile and then double dug G2 if I were kind to them, but I think that they'll be okay. This is part of the reason why I got off of halflings. I just wasn't sure about locking up space in the center, and because goblins did indeed play this heavy shipping game plan, it's not that obvious where halflings are going to expand to and where they're going to make their second town. Forget about the third town, right? Right now they don't even know where their second town is. I mean, ideally, we're going to end up on either the goats tile or the halflings tile, so I don't mind taking a slower round. I'm just going to transform this guy to red. Don't build a dwelling, and then I'm going to sanctuary for Earth 1, I think, and then build it. It's a little bit greedy to not take Earth 2 here, but I think that I'm going to get out a lot of dwellings in the next round, and I think that Earth 1 should be okay. It seems like a decent number of points. Goats indeed do go digging. I think that they should next probably just buy a priest, advance their ship, convert a priest to 2 workers and 2 coins, and then build these 2 hexes. This goat's shipping plan, by the way, probably means that I'm not getting E3, because they're probably going to get this town here before I can get to E3. So I kind of wish that halflings had been able to get G2 now. If they had passed and I had left on the double spade, then that probably would have happened. One sad fact is that it seems like I probably won't be able to get E9. Halflings might be able to advance their digs fast enough to take this away from me. So I might not be getting this town here. In which case I might be confined to like doing a bridge town or something. There's also this weirdly funny world where I could sanctuary for Earth 2 and then make a TP, and then next round I can make a temple for Earth 1. Next round is the temple round, but I am a little short on coins for that idea, so halflings may just be passing here to take a coins action next round and temple for Earth 1. I really don't like this TP here. This TP gives halflings the ability to triple dig this next round. Now halflings aren't going to do that. I think that they're smart enough not to, but they could just pass on a temp ship and then triple dig G1. Oh, they're building a TP for some coin income to hit the scoring track and to give me some put themselves in position next round. This TP also speaks against me being able to make a town through here. This TP speaks to investment over here in the west. So that's not good for me either. All right, now a question. How valuable is this cult pump versus getting up to temp ship? I think temp ship is probably the best thing that we could get. Of course, if halflings pass now and leave this open, then we're always taking this. They do indeed pass. They're probably taking temp ship. Now they pass on to the priest, so they're going to go digging next round? I don't truly understand this, admittedly. I think that this cult step can't possibly be worth as much as 4 workers. Remember that this will be 4 workers by this round, so. Okay. So Darklings, or the Goblins advance their shipping, so they're going to be able to build C1 here. Well, I mean, okay. Like, we are getting the big building tile. So this coming round, we should figure out what our goals are for this coming round now. It looks like we have 5 workers and 14 coins. So that's enough for 2 ship advances. That would be 8 coins and a bunch of dwellings. A6, D6, A12 maybe. But it could also be B4, A9. Like, it's possible that just locking up territory that I want is good, but I'm not certain. Now, these 4 workers I am going to stash. Like, that is just the plan. I have 14 coins, so yeah, with 4 workers, I can build 1, 2, 3 dwellings. I think building 3 dwellings is a fine round next round. I'll probably have to ignore this. We would like to build another temple at some point, but I'm just not sure that this is the round. I think that getting onto hexes is important. Goblins, their economy looks a little weak right now, but we have to keep in mind that they have these two X tokens. So they can juice their economy by a lot at any given moment. Next round, I think that part of Snake's thought there was he wasn't sure if he wanted to temple for Earth 1 early, but now he's got this pass tile. That seems really good. It's like 6 victory points just sitting right there. I think halflings are going to take the coins. I don't think that they're going to rush Earth 1, but I could be wrong. I don't think that they would be totally wrong to rush Earth 1. They just send priests to cults after that, and like they wind up with a bunch of coins anyway. Seems good to me. While they're tanking, I'm gonna get some more food. Okay, they passed. They took 10th ship instead of taking the ship VP tile, which definitely surprises me. I think it's early enough in the game. We're just going to stash everything. This is the best way to build economy as treasures. All right, let's look at how much economy building 3 dwellings gets us. Building 3 dwellings gets us 1 extra worker. Wow, that seems really bad. How do we think that we're going to get these red hexes after this? Because now I'm really tempted to really just temple for water 1 or even earth 2 instead. Like this is, I didn't realize just how bad these dwellings were. But these are like not high quality dwellings at all. I should probably, okay, so I'm thinking about it, and maybe I should just send one of these priests off to a cult. Because I only need 2 shipping to get down 2 dwellings, and 2 dwellings is just as much economy as 3 dwellings. I'll get this guy later or something, right? So why don't we send a priest off? The question is air or water better? I would think that water is slightly better. Oh, so Earth 1, so the coins action was left over. Goblins will try to get that if they can get it, but the fact that halflings are getting at Earth 1 and the coins action is just disgusting. So Zach, hello, how are you? Glad to have you here as a viewer. We're playing some fan factions. My faction is the Treasurers. These guys have the ability to stash their income. Instead of collecting their income, they can put it into their stash. And at the end of your, at the beginning of the next round, you get everything that's in your stash doubled. Which I think is pretty neat. This definitely encourages you to play tall. You want your resources to snowball. You are right, but look at your board here. Your dwellings just don't do you a whole lot of good in this with this faction. So it's a weird type of game where like the more you can stash, the better. You really just want to. You only want to build out what gives you income early in the game. Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit on deciding what to do here. We did put a priest off the cult, so it's no longer an option to build all three of these dwellings. I think that we might just temple and build one dwelling. It's a little weak seeming, but I think that really is just the plan. And we're gonna get really greedy and hope that it pays off for us somehow. Oh wow, this looks not great for the goats. They've built this guy in completely the wrong round. They just lost 5 points and they didn't even get any cult rewards for it. They will get 2 workers here, but yeah, I think that this is pretty bad. Yeah, it's like the engineers board where like basically your income is weird. You only get benefits from your first temple, your first TP, and then there's a gap after that. It's very strange. Yeah, getting some priest income could be good here. It does look like halflings and goblins are struggling a little bit on the cults, so we are going to go this way. By the way, if I'm halflings here, I'm probably just passing. All that they have left to do is maybe advance digs and build out one dwelling, but they could just pass onto an extra worker, which is 3 points for them. 3 coins and another coins action. That's probably what I'm doing if I'm halflings. No one's threatening my hexes. I have no hexes. Anyway, they did give up G1. I was saying that they might pass onto this temp ship and grab G1, but halflings chose economy over all that, and it seemed to work very well. You start with no power, so it seems like a weak faction. It is not the best faction. I did bid these guys down quite a lot of points. Everyone is sending priests to Earth. That seems good. It does get rewards. I arguably could have sent priests to Earth instead of to water. But I did wind up choosing water, and hopefully it won't bite me in the ass too hard. I think I might just be taking Earth 2 here instead of Water 1. Oh, halflings bought a priest, so they want to manually advance their ship, I think. Ah, screw it. We will just take a... Wait, hold on. I could advance ship build 2 dwellings here, right? Yeah, sorry guys. I think that advanced ship build 2 dwellings instead of... Oh wait, the second dwelling doesn't do me any good. Yeah, that's why I decided to go down this line. Shit. Sorry everyone. So can we still get out all our structures by hamstringing our economy this much? I'm going to gamble that the answer is yes. Well aware that I might be wrong about that. Oh wait, all the Earth 2 is gone anyway, so that was never an option. Great, okay. So it looks like this is how we're building our economy then. Bit by painstaking bit. We're going to have 6 coins to work with next round. I think that part of it is digging this, building this. Well, 8 workers, which is pretty decent. Does the gray faction have fire 2 from the start? Why is that tile on their board? Yeah, gray. So gray's ability is that all their structures, all their dwellings cost 2. However, all of their structures are worth 2 power. So their dwellings are like You can make a town out of 4 dwellings if you're gray. Now fire 2 is there so that you can still make a town out of 3 structures with the sanctuary, because the sanctuary is also only 2 power, so then this is like a 6 power town, even if this was a TP. It's a little confusing, but they wound up just deciding to give gray fire 2 always. So if you make a 3 hex town and you have a stronghold or a sanctuary in it, then it automatically becomes a town. But suffice it to say, I really don't like what gray did here, because I think that they were supposed to connect on G3. This might have been a good bridge town. And they also made this town in a town round where they don't have this, and they don't have this, and they don't get any particular benefit from it. They will get 2 coins from this, but that's all. So I don't really like what gray has done there. That said, they are going to get double dig next round. So they're going to hit these 2 hexes and set up another town, which is very nice. They're going to be cozied up with black. I need to search desperately for a 3rd town spot, or I really need to just make sure I can get a 2nd town spot currently. Snake is saying that he's playing badly. I don't know if he's playing badly. I haven't been paying too much close attention to the Goblins game, but it seems fine to me. They templed for more econ, which I think is, yeah, so the 2nd temple for everyone was either Earth 2 or Earth 1. Normally this is supposed to be the round where you spam out a bunch of dwellings, but I decided to be dumb and do this, so. Goblins look like very simply very strong. Yeah, goblins basically have a nice economic boost, right? Like these X tiles are really good depending on what structure you're building out. Right now Snake has 2 temples on the board, so he's very workers rich. So if he passes, like right now, I think that Snake should be passing right now into this, opening the round with a coins power action, and then possibly just advancing digs. It's a round 4 digs round. He wants some points. Gray is going to probably, yeah, this is the best tile available. They're going to open the round with double dig on these 2 hexes, which is good. So I think that goblins should pass now. Goblins take a single spade. I really think halflings, well, actually, it doesn't really matter. Goblins are probably getting this anyway. I don't really understand this single spade, though. Gets them F5. I guess it protects it from halflings coming through right now. Halflings are going to have advanced their digs all the way. So they are a threat, and they are going to advance their ship next. So this is the danger of playing this like really tall faction. All my hexes are going to become halfling hexes like very, very quickly. And I don't know how much town spot space is going to be left for me after that. But hey, if there is any, then at least we get that. Oh, goblins built E5. That seems pretty good. Well, I mean, I think that we're passing next. I think halflings might pass here, but I think I'm passing onto this, and I'm opening the round with a single dig on B4. Yeah, so halflings do advance on shipping. The other thing that we could do is we could pass on, is that we could hard dig C2, hard dig D3 next round. I don't think that that's an awful idea for a round either, because then it gives me this bridge town option. It's a little kinder to goblins. But it gets me set up on this town over here. Oh, wait, no, I think that E3 is going away anyway, right? It doesn't matter. In any case, I have to pass here. We'll continue to stash everything. Just seems good. Halflings are absolutely going to murder any chance that we have of making Eastern town at all, I suspect. Because they can take C5, which is the key hex for bridging. They might be able to get both of these hexes. They're definitely taking E9, right? They're almost definitely taking E9. I need to decide whether this town up here or this town here is more important. Oh, E3 is left open. So goats could still hard dig E3. So I need to be a little... I shouldn't be like tempted into that siren song just yet, but I am being offered coins. Coins are always good. But if I leave coins, then maybe halflings will just take them, right? If I take coins and advance my digging, I can get onto this hex and this. I can still... Are we changing plans into a hilarious coins and diggings route? Halflings are on temp ship. Okay, so halflings are going to get to D3 before me, like always. They're already in reach of D3. Goblins will probably dig B4 if given a chance here. But if halflings prioritize D3, I think that I should be able to get down some meaningful digs here no matter what. So I think I'm going to take this and advance my digs and just see what happens. I think that seeing what happens is a traditional fun route that you would like to explore a little bit. I need to be conscientious of how I'm going to get the leech to make bridges, admittedly. Haven't thought through that entirely. Goblins are advancing digs as well. They do have very good coin income. A lot of people have good coin income this round thanks to this coins event. Yeah, we're in some trouble here. We didn't really figure out our game. Halflings advance ship yet again, so they're coming up to A7 then. That's what that tells me. They're going to try to get B2, A7. So they're going to try to make a town through here. I think I need to secure A6. I think that's what I need to do here. I still don't need to advance my digging. I was wrong about that, I think. I think I probably just secure A6. And then I forgot that I was on the ship VP tile. So I think that the right move here is actually just try to use my ship VP stuff. My next moves probably involve trying to build these hexes and then try to advance ship and build this hex. Like my next move is to advance ship. If I'm somehow left it, then I will take D3. But oh yeah, here's my chance to grab B4. Yeah, I think this town here is good. Goblins did advance on the exchange track again. Goblins probably will just deny me A9 if I dig B4, but I think that might be like a whatever at this point. Like, if they do it, then they do it, and I just try to bust through there anyway. Goats are just doing their thing, and I think that their thing looks pretty decent. So in the end, we decide not to advance our digs. I think advancing our ship is just a better way of making points. We don't really have the worker economy to support like an aggressive digging plan anyway. I have no idea where halflings are thinking of digging. Right now it looks like they're playing at connecting. I think that they should just take e9, right? If they take e9, then they're basically connected. They're always going to get one of these two hexes. So it looks like they're actually just going to turn everything brown then, because now I'm really a little bit confused because now they have no coins to build structures with. So what hexes are they digging? They might just mess with my hexes, I guess. But I'm going to build a9 while I still have the chance. Okay, so once I'm able to get a bridge, which I hopefully will be able to do, I will have this left over for me. Goblins, I think, should probably try to take c2. So they have it. Well, no, they're probably gonna build around here. They take d5 so that they can connect. Seems fine. This leech is very, very welcome. I've been leech starved for, well, I mean, throughout the game I've had decent leech. It's just lately I've been a little leech starved. Actually, if I could get c4, that would be a pretty amazing town, right? If I could get c4, then this would be a town. But I should dream about that later, because that would be like a late game dig advance type of scenario. But maybe that's the right thing to be dreaming about at this point, because already we're at the point where like this town and then this bridge town, I don't know. It already looks like a one-town game to me, which is very, very tough. The goat's pass, which I think is a good move. Goblins get onto a hex. That seems pretty good. This threatens halflings from being able to just dig bomb too freely. Honestly, like, I don't love halflings buying those workers because I think that they really wanted to use those as coins this round because they can turn every hex on the map brown, but unless they can build on them, then goblins threaten them because goblins also have 3 ship. Or they have 2 ship, but yeah, I mean goblins are in reach of basically every hex that halflings are in reach of. I mean, I suppose halflings could try to go for a town down here. These hexes are pretty fallow ground, but they're going to slowly turn this guy. Okay, I guess goblins are out of this round, so that's fine. They want a long round. We're going to let them have it. We're going to secure this hex because there's a possibility of a bridge town through here. Goblins do have the ability to use... Okay, they just bump Earth for now. Goblins can use this thing for another worker, for another 2 workers, and then they can dig and build E9, or then dig and build H7. Seems pretty decent. And then they're in range of Sanctuary for Water 1 next round. At least I have scoring favors locked up, but, I mean, as we can see, those scoring favors haven't really helped me out a ton in, like... Don't rush scoring favors, guys. It never winds up being as good as you might think. Okay, halflings are going to try to carve this town down here. I think I approve of that. Does this make any sense? Oh, this 3 spot is still open. But I could also just advance my ships. I don't really need 3 ship this game. 3 ship doesn't really get me anything, so I think that that's probably a mistake to advance my ship again. But I could send it to the Earth Cult for 2 more coins. I could send it to the air cult for some points. Let's say that we can get it on. We can get our points on the air cult next round. That's my theory. We have 4 priests coming in next round. Because we have these 2 priests plus it doubles, so. Oh, I guess goblins might send the first priest to air next round. I don't think goats will. I think goats will probably take a more meaningful power action. Okay, goblins are staying around, which I had kind of been hoping for. Nope, they do pass. They're going to pass onto the TP tile. Fair enough. This is a bit of a moment of truth, whether I should just be buying the bridge now or not. If I just buy this bridge now, I lock in one of my towns. There aren't that many bridges going around. Okay. So do we just lock in this bridge now? We could also lock in this hex now, but I think that's oh, hold on. I could lock in this hex. But then goats probably just take that away from me anyway. Yeah, I don't think that's any good. The next dwelling does produce income, so that is notable. Getting down a dwelling here with a single dig. So here are our options, right? We get down a dwelling with a single dig, or we just secure a bridge now. The dig is 2 points, plus it gives a worker, which is really like 2 workers. But the bridge, but when are we getting that power back, right? That's really painful. The question of when are we getting that power back? I think that we're basically never getting that power back if we bridge there, or if we single dig. So I think that we should rule that out. The question is, can we just bridge next round instead? So we can cycle our power a little more efficiently. So we just do this. This is fine. Okay. That's taken care of. Now we think about whether or not it's worth it to try to get these guys. It's a huge pain that we have no more natural reds to build on. That was probably the best case for going for Earth 2 instead of Earth 1. The fact that we would run out of reds so quickly. Yeah, actually that was probably the mistake that I made this game. I think that I was supposed to go for Earth 2 instead of Earth 1. And now it's too late. I can't actually get Earth 1 anymore. Or I can't get Earth 2 anymore. Guess I was wrong about getting no more leech this game. So halflings will connect if they take this hex or this hex, so that seems good for them. I need to worry about these hexes over here so that I can bridge, if I can bridge through there. I would say power is good. We're just a few workers short still. I think we're getting a lot of workers off of this cult, so this is probably good. I'm going to want the longest round next round so I can get onto one of the scoring pass tiles. My opponents will be on all three of the other scoring pass tiles, so it'll be good if I can hold off just a little bit there. I'll send some priests to the fire. I can use the cult bump on fire. That gets me a worker. Halflings will indeed try to connect here. If they leave it unbuilt, it's kind of dangerous. Goblins can just get it. But I suppose goblins have better things to do than take that hex. They are going to build beasts. They are going to dig this hex, so that makes it a lot more difficult for me to try to make a town through here. So I really need to think about if the second town for me is still happening. Wow, they save a worker. That's surprising. Really think I could have dug at least like H4 or something, because it does look like they might be going for a town down here. So yeah, unfortunately, folks, this game has turned out to be a bit of a disaster, so I apologize to everyone watching for that. We're going to send some priests to cults here, cycle our power a little more. Oh, so, wow, goats decided to put the priest to air instead of taking coins. I guess they're getting at coins anyway, because none of us has power. Wow, yeah, that sucks. I really thought that I was going to be able to get the priest to air. I should have just put it last round. I didn't realize that I would have so many coins this round, but I guess I should have seen it coming that I was going to pass on to this. Oh, they don't even need coins, right? They just need spades. All right, this puts us into better position to take power action, so we're going to start with that. Goats are still the only faction who can take coins. Hilarious. But I could definitely understand them just wanting spades at this point, or even, yeah, a bridge plus a single spade on E3. So E3 is going to go away, so I literally have no more natural reds to build on this game. So what do we need to do then? Halflings are going to be down here trying to make their town. Goblins are making this town. They're preventing me from cutting them off and coming around this way. Is it too late to be advancing digs now? We're going to have 6 workers from here, plus 4 workers from here, plus I'm getting another 2 workers off this cult, sending priest here, bumping this. So I'm going to have 8 plus 6 workers next round. That's 14 workers. I might still have a chance of coming through here. It doesn't look like anyone else particularly wants a bridge. Like, I guess these guys could want a bridge. What happened there? Okay, it's a TP. Seems fine, I guess. I don't care. Halflings are going about their business making their town. I don't really understand why goblins didn't come down here. I feel like this is a very cheap dig town for goblins. Yeah, they had a free dwelling at the time too, so I thought that this actually might have been the right play for goblins. This was pretty risky from halflings actually. Goats build their strongholds. I think that's a very good move. The stronghold giving 2 priests is very, very strong. It's a stronghold scoring round. They're on the stronghold tile. I really like that move for them. Goblins finally managed to get the coins right when I was hoping to. We want to use this cult bump because it helps our economy. Bump the fire track. Are we ever not passing last here? I actually think that we're likely just passing last, which is a big bummer. Maybe we should be buying the workers. I don't think anyone else is buying the workers, but I think that if I advance my digs twice here, buy the workers, and then dig 2 more times, I guess if I do that, then I have no power to bridge, and this town is dead anyway. But who cares about that town at that point, right? Yeah, I don't think that this town is ever happening anyway, so it's time to move on. Alright, I think it's time to get desperate. I don't think that we're getting the spades that we need to do this if we don't advance our digs. Maybe there's some weird world where we get some power, but I'm going to buy these and I'm going to advance digs. Actually, undo. We don't buy those until we see that the goats are stalling. The goats might only be able to just build 2 stuff right now, right? So yeah, there's no evidence that the goats are actually doing that much right now. So We buy those workers when we need those workers, but because the goats have nothing left, oh, they triple dug this hex? I guess they, oh, okay, once they build this, they have another town. Okay, fair enough. I feel like a double dig here was safe, but now they have 2 hexes that they can take. Like, if goblins deny them this hex, then they can just dig this for cheap. Whereas otherwise, goblins could have come down here and dug this. But why use the spade now when you could have spaded later? But, oh, halflings passed. That is very surprising to me. But I guess that they saw themselves coming last in the passing order. So we will just pass now if we're able to. I don't think I particularly want... Well, it looks like I'm getting stuck with the TP tile, which is, I think, the tile that I least wanted, because that doesn't really get me too much, sadly. I think I'm being offered E3 here, so I think I gotta take it. Actually, no, I think I need 2 more leech to get that. My thought was that I could advance, well, so it would require me just single digging this hex and then building this, right? That probably doesn't seem good. I would be 1 coin short of being able to build E3 if I advanced digs, bought the workers, and then dug this and tried to build this. I would be 1 coin short, so I need 9. And I don't have 9. We will just do this anyway. And here we need to pass. Yeah, this is really not worked out. Again, we could grab this and then dig down D3. It's probably worth a shot. Yeah, whatever. This is at least I'm trying something here. Unless maybe I can build A5 instead. Is A5 better? The goblins might want to try to town through here, but... I think that goats are taking this hex first thing on me anyway. And I'm never getting a town through there. If goblins are too slow, then I can try to beat them to a town through here, which would annoy them. Yeah, that feels a little better to me. Okay. Goats, I think, do need to secure their hexes. I think that goats should just start by building this. Actually, I have so many resources that I can actually triple dig this, right? I can actually triple dig A4. So goblins should never be able to get a town through here. Goblins might be able to take B2 and C2 and then bridge town through here, but they're never going to be able to make a town through these hexes. If I were them, maybe they should just town through here. But I don't know. They could be more confrontational. Who knows? Yeah, they just take an 8-pointer, which I think is perfectly good. Yeah, I'm totally digging A4 if goblins dig B2. I just hope that they don't. So I don't really have other ways to make points, right? I would ideally like to get these 2 hexes for a town. They do take B2. Okay. That's unfortunate. This probably won't turn into a town, but on the off chance that it does, this is worth something. I might be being too kind to goats by not taking this, but whatever. I do need a TP before I can build A3, so my next move is going to be making a TP. A cool town gets made here by halflings. You never see this arrangement, so that's fun. To take an 8-pointer seems good. Close the Earth Cult. Yeah, goats secure this red hex, which they were always going to do, I think. If I'm goblins, I'd probably just bridge. But who knows? Why they upgrade here? Is this a town for them? Oh, they have lots and lots of resources that we're not seeing. Okay, they're probably making a stronghold and getting tons and tons of these things. Okay, fine. They're fine. So let's make our town. The 8-point towns are gone. Oh man, I cost myself a priest. That was careless. So what do we need here? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 workers in order to carve this town. And we're never making any other town. So that sounds a lot like I'm just supposed to take the 11-pointer. I say that in part because I'm not really competitive on network here. Maybe I can tie goats, but I'm never beating these guys on network. They just have way too much stuff. So Zach, you stepped away for a sec. How's it going? Predictably, or maybe unpredictably, I didn't know that was going to happen. Taking 2 scoring favors when you have no board presence after round 3 is a bad idea. I managed to make 1 town here, and then I did advance my digs after the dig round. There is a chance that I get this. If I get A3, then I am getting a 2nd town, and that is like about as much as I could have hoped for. But the question is, are goblins going to let me have that? Because goblins are making their town. They're making a 2nd town no matter what. They might even be able to make 3. But it definitely remains to be seen if I can get this town. Goblins have to decide whether or not they want to take that away from me. If they do, I probably just temple for. Actually, it might not be worth it to temple for fire 3. That's a hasty thing to say. Yeah, this water 1 temple looks really bad in hindsight now. I overproduced on priests, so that was really bad. I was a little coin short. I didn't get out my dwellings as fast as I could. And most importantly, Earth 2 was gone, and there was no pressure on Water 1. So these are all reasons that why what I did was bad. So hopefully I can just get this A3 hex, as long as goblins don't dig and build this hex, that seems pretty expensive. I don't know if they've done the math on whether they can block me on this and still make all their towns. I would assume that they can, but they do this instead, so this is good for us. They're now floating this D3 hex, but I think that if I take this, then they certainly retaliate. So I don't see any reason to deny them that town. We will probably deny them a town if they try to make a town over here. That seems a little too bold, but if they just dig this hex, then I think that we're fine. Cool. So we do have another town, so that's good news. I arguably should temple for fire too here. That argument was short in my head. I don't think I should temple for fire 2 here, because I'm on the TP pass tile. Building 3 TPs and losing this is fine. I can send priests to the water cult. I can send the last priest to air if I'm allowed. I forgot that this was a contest here. Goats might also not want to temple for right now. I mean, goats might want the last priest to air as well. So there are other places where my priests are still useful at the moment. And they're going to have 5 stuff on their board. I'm going to have 3 structures left that aren't that aren't TPs or dwellings. So can I get down 3 dwellings? If I take a coin town, then maybe I can single dig these 3. I have a lot of single dig hexes left. So if I take a coin town, then I could get to 3 structures on my board, which, given where I'm at currently, is actually pretty shocking. Halflings need to get down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 workers worth of stuff. They do have a lot of stuff, so they also have some digs involved there. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to go to 14. Goblins have a ton of stuff left, so they could easily get to 14. Halflings do need a ship advance, so that's good. Maybe we should just dig this A2 hex to make this town, right? That doesn't seem too bad. Oh, the goats took a priest town. That's really good. That's really very good. They should probably just... Oh, I think I talked about setting a priest here as well. I don't think I'm getting this. I don't think I'm getting this town. Yeah, there's almost no way I'm getting that town. So maybe it is the coin town and just try to get down to 3 structures. And then we challenge goblins and halflings to beat us there, right? I think that might be the play. And then we just take all leech that we can get. This is 1, 2. So, okay. So I need 2 more TPs. That's 4. And then I need 3 dwellings plus 3 digs. So that's 6. So that's 10 total workers. That means that I can afford to send 1 priest off. It's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 coins. Right now I have 9. So I need 3 coins. So a power town is enough. And if I get some leech, then a worker town could be enough as well. I really don't want to take a power town. I might as well just take a coin town at that point. Goblins take some workers, makes sense. It does look like they're only going to make 2 towns. They're not going to make 3 towns. They have a lot of cheap hexes, still open to them. Like this is a 2 hexes for 1 dig. This is 3 hexes for 2 digs. This is 1 hex for 2 hexes for 1 dig. So if they want to go TP, TP, or if they go... Honestly, I was thinking that they wanted to go Stronghold here, but maybe they don't. I think that they could probably pretty cleanly afford Temple, TP, 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 Dwelling, 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 but maybe they can't. It's a lot of workers. The last priest did go away. I don't know why I didn't take that spot. I was really supposed to take that spot. I'm just playing very poorly. Yeah, halflings did a good job of reading the writing on the wall, so I didn't expect them to pass so early. But basically, they were on a pass tile, and 2 of their opponents had pass tiles. However, they were seated such that they were after me, so I was going to pass onto the pass tile that was open, if there was one, and they might have gotten 4th seat and no pass tile. So at least this way, they got a coins action and the pass tile like without points that they wanted. That's a pretty sharp move. So as we were saying, they could get out, this would be 9 workers to build these structures. It would require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more workers. So 14 total workers to get out everything. Would they have the coins to do that and the digs? They do need 2 digs on this. So I do think that they might be at 14. As long as they don't get like a ton of leech that I'm not seeing. Yeah, they need 14 workers for that, and all this power, I assume, would need to be coins for them to get to 15. So they might just be, they probably just advanced ship to 3 with their last stuff, so they are going to end at 14. So it does look like getting to 14 is the play here. This is a TP. Okay, for some reason I thought that he upgraded to a temple. Okay, let's count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coins needed. I have 7 coins right now. If I get up to here, I will be at... Oh, I have 6 coins right now. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coins. I would love to see if I could get some more leech, but I just don't see why anyone should give it to me. Goblins want to just make this into a TP. So, also if I put priests up here, then how many workers do I need right now? I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 workers as well. I can only spare 1 priest. I could send these 2 priests off, and then I would still be short a priest. I would take a priest town. Oh, I can take a workers town in that case. So maybe sending priest and then taking a workers town is the way to go. Yeah, 2 priests off and a workers town I think might do it. Now, the goats might respond just by templing for fire 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. The alternative is just I just eat the power town now, but or I could send these 2 priests to water. I could lock up the water track this way. A lot of different options. This is a gamble, but it's only a minor gamble. In the end, I can just take a coin town if this doesn't work out. The gamble is that the goats could temple for fire 3 here. They took leech, which is not a good sign to me. Why did they take that 2 for 1? They don't need it unless they're thinking of templing, which is unfortunate for me. But if they temple, then they can't take the water track on me, right? Like, it becomes a lot harder to take this water track. So, I don't know. I'm going through a lot of effort just to... Okay. They decide to build a dwelling. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay. So my next move is to claim this cult, and then I should be able to grab a workers' town after that, as long as this isn't like Temple Fire 3, which doesn't really make any sense to me. Ooh, I could take this leech too. This leech actually allows me to just take a priest town, I think. I really, really don't understand this. This must mean that Snake is thinking of templing for Fire 3, or for Fire 2. Because this is not the most efficient way to get out your dwellings. To like have to dig this hex. Unless there's a temple coming still. I think I already did the math. I don't need this as long as I get a workers' town. Okay, now we just need to secure that workers' town. As long as this isn't Temple Fire 2 for 2 workers' towns, I'm okay. But I think that right now, the next thing that's going to happen is one of these things is going to get used. To get 8 coins. Yeah, I think that an 8 coin X token is getting used next. Halflings don't have Water 1, which is costing them a few victory points here. Halflings aren't on a pass tile, which is nice for me, I think. I will take a 2 for 1 if I get it. That would let me take a priest town, which would be 1 point better. Theoretically, lets me fight cults. Sadly, I don't think that there's any world where I want the coin town at this point. Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not getting this priest anyway. Okay, indeed it was taking that, so we do get our workers' town now. We managed to, this also means that we managed to get a priest off to the water cult, right? I actually didn't think of that little angle, which is quite nice. It won't be points versus everyone, but it will be points versus halfling. Like, I don't think I'm getting first on this cult, but it at least should drive off halflings and goblins. So I'll get 12 cult points this game, which is pretty decent. So I think that we can start counting out the rest of our stuff for the most part. Priest here, dig this, TP, dwelling. Yeah, so 2 dwellings, 1 TP, and a priest. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 8 is 15 more points, so that's 135. 135. I'm seeing I believe that it might be a 4-way tie on network, if I'm not mistaken. goats can convert 2 of these guys. Oh wait, they don't have a dwelling. Okay, goats are not winning network. Okay. So it might be a 3-way tie with these guys. So it might be 12. So that's 135 plus 12 plus another 12. So that's 24, 159. It's a lot better than I was thinking. But it could also be the case that everyone has that many points. Like halflings have quite good cults here. Goats really want to advance their ship, I think. So if I'm goats, I'm probably sending 1 priest off, converting the other 1 more priest into this sick conversion, and then I'm advancing ship. Goats taking an early 2-key town and losing 2 of the best cults is kind of shocking. The problem is, as goats, is that their real problem is that they only built this sanctuary and then they didn't build another temple. You really want a temple and... Oh, okay. Goats are going to fight network. Okay, so I get an easy win on this cult. That's incredible. Yeah, that's phenomenal. We'll put this guy here. Don't think that goblins particularly want this. Yeah, I mean, tying network is clearly very good for the goats. But the fact that they didn't max out their shipping tile is a bit of a bummer. And it really might mean that I win this cult. I guess goblins have a ton of priests that they can send off. It's not clear to me if goblins want to get to 15 network or if they want to just... Because they don't have Earth 1, so it's not a ton of points for them to build dwellings. It's a ton of points to win network, but it's pretty challenging. Halflings have their hands full getting to 14 at this point. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 workers speaks for everything that they have. They also might need a ship town. Okay, there's the stronghold. I don't understand. Do goblins still think that they're getting this town or something? Why aren't they strongholding down here? Like, why aren't they taking a town? That's what I'm confused about. I don't need this leech because, as we discussed, I can just send my priest off and get the power that I need. So I actually don't need that leech. I guess goblins could probably jam the water cult and take that away from me. But in any case, let's lock up a hex. There's 1. So let's see. Goblins can temple for fire 2. And then that'll get them maybe a worker town and a priest town. And then they get 2 X's, and then they use the 2 X's to get 4 more workers. And they'll have 7 workers-ish. And then... No, this isn't a town for them. I don't think that they can make this town. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 workers. They can get 8 workers, but they don't have that many structures. So I'm not really seeing that for them. Halflings do get another town. Murillo M9. How are you? Welcome to my stream. You played a nice game. I think that you had a couple of missteps. I think that your big misstep was probably taking this two key town. I don't think it did you very much. Um, Here we go. Now, how did goblins get three X's? Am I missing something there? Oh, the favor tile gets them an extra one. I see what it is. Okay, so but now they're coin short, right? They still need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 8 workers just for this. That would be 2 of these things. But then they also need another TP. I still don't think that this is very well thought out. This might just be a bid for network, actually, right? This might be, they need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 workers to get out everything. Oh, okay. I see what it is. They're gonna, what's this? Okay. I'm not gonna think too hard about what they're doing. They have their own plan. They might be able to get that town out, and I might be wrong. But I'll mind my own business. This is this. I do think that, okay, so here's the halflings town. It is a ship town, so they're going to build this as their last action. They're going to get a priest off to water. Okay, so they are going to try for this town. Or something. They still appear to need a ship advance, actually. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. Hey, you don't know why you got that city tile, you just think the first in general should be that one. Well, so here's my thing, right? Like, I don't mind you taking the two key town, but I think that the mistake there was, oh, it's a bridge. Okay, it's a bridge, so this is going to be a town. Yeah, okay. They didn't need to build another TP. They did have this town. Okay, cool. Looks good. This could be a ship town. Yep. 3 towns in the town round. Nice. I was mistaken. This was completely fine. Okay, so yeah, I agree that getting that the two key town is a good idea. However, you need to fight harder on the cults if that's going to happen. Like, I think that you really should have tried to win this fire cult after taking the two key town. But the other problem, I think, was that you built this sanctuary. Like, this sanctuary is, you score 5 points for a sanctuary here and 5 points for a sanctuary here. And I just don't think that you got enough rewards on the cults to justify that move. If you had gotten really good cult rewards, then I think that it was really good. But I don't think that wound up being the case. Meanwhile, here it looks like Snake is just going to... I don't know what this is. This is probably just resource points. Oh, it's a priest. Okay, it's a priest of the water cult. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's my opinion there. Halflings are tied with me in network, but I think that... Oh, wait, am I topping this cult? Okay, so I've clearly won this game then. Yeah, because... Yeah, cool. All right. This looked really, really bad, like, at one point, but I do think that I managed to luck my way into it, based on advancing digs late in the game. I guess, like, so the thing about treasures that's a little counterintuitive is that I think that they almost always want to advance digs, but they almost always want to do it at the end. Yeah, you were thinking that since you were already going to score points on cults, you tried to expand a little, maybe a bad idea. Yeah, I think that if you had just taken like an 8-point town late in the game, instead of going this route, Or if you had just waited until round 5, like I think that you could have just waited till round 5 to take that as, or round 5, yeah, round 5 to build your sanctuary for that town. You still get the town early, but you get 5 more points, right? I think that's. I mean, to be fair, that's a rather minor point, but like that's just the type of small thing that I think that you can do to improve like your overall outcomes. Just sequencing things a little better, and like the two key town is. Don't get me wrong. A lot of the time, it's correct to build the two key town, even if you're not getting any, even if you're giving up a lot of bonus points by building it during that round. I just don't think that you got quite enough economy out of it this game for it to justify. As for halflings, I think that hate digging B6 was probably just wrong. They were probably supposed to just come down here and then spend their digs down here. They ended this game with a free brown hex, and maybe they get a slightly better town that way. But admittedly, none of us did that amazing overall in terms of network. Yeah, Snake is saying that he got a little bit unlucky in terms of and stupid in terms of making that final dwelling. I agree with that. And I guess to be fair, I didn't see this bridge town coming, so. Um, so yeah. I guess we can take a quick look at the scoring breakdown. Okay. So he didn't see that I had advanced digs, which makes sense. By the way, halflings were bid down 16 points. They only lost by 13. And I think that, admittedly, they had a couple of inefficient plays. So it does seem like they were the best faction. They were correct to be bid down this much. Goats were treated as a 40 faction. It looks like they were correct to be a 40 faction. That said, I do think that goats probably could have been about 10 points better than this. Like I see 10 points probably on the table somewhere there. So down here, we'll take a look at what we did this game. We took one coins action. We took one double spade. We took one workers action. We took one bridge. We didn't wind up using this single spade in the round where I was considering it. So so we got a lot, we stashed a lot, and this is what wound up happening. So that seems pretty cool. We did wind up a little, like, we got 44 workers this game, which isn't like that many. Like, I guess goblins and the goats got more, but this is like quite a good number. This is like a number that you might associate with like a decent nomads game or something. So So we got, what do we do here? We, my God, this is really dire, huh? How do you get such a low score here? This was 10 points from towns and 4 points from from the temple. So did I build what, one dwelling in a dwelling round and that's it? I got a spade in the one spade in the spade round, and that's it. Oh my god! Because I didn't build any dwellings in the initial dwelling round. I had 16 points on the scoring track. So that's almost unfathomable. Look at second place. The halflings had a giant round 4 digs round, plus the 2 towns, plus a temple, plus 3 dwellings in the first round. Oh my god. That said, I mean, goblins also really struggled here. They had some. They had this is literally. Oh, what's going? Okay, no, this is 35. This is 30. It's not 15. It's 35. Yeah, and 24. Earth 1, Water 1. It's a very chumpy way to play, but it wound up just providing us, like, this is the difference in the game, right? Like, halflings didn't have water. They couldn't afford Water 1. I managed to somehow. I didn't think that I could afford Water 1, but I somehow got away with it. And yeah, this was where I succeeded compared to other players. We actually did pretty well in the pass, even though I didn't get everything that I wanted. Both of our towns were good, so that helps. And then we won, like, we tied everyone on 14 network. This is pretty neat. Can I see how many points I lost from acquiring power? I absolutely can. I lost 10 points due to leech this game. So here's one of the worst parts about goats. Because all of your dwellings are worth 2 power, you can never you can never take cheap leech. So you're always taking like 2 for 1s or 4 for 3s. And how much power did they gain from this? They gained 40 power. Okay, so they got the most leech, but they paid so much for it. The problem with goats is kind of like that they're like swarmlings, right? Like, your resources don't go as far because each dwelling costs you 2 workers, just like swarmlings. So, like, by taking a 2 for 1, you're advancing your ability to build dwellings much less than other players are. And that makes it a little worse to take big leeches, and you also can't take free leech, which is a real bummer to me. Because you really want workers. You don't really need coins as much. You really need workers. And workers you don't really get from taking leech, especially not 2 for 1s. So that's quite sad. But yeah, 3 of us advanced on the digging track this game. That's pretty neat. The cult game was pretty even throughout. That's pretty neat. And yeah, we only got 2 towns, but they were pretty good ones. So I'm not too torn up about that. These guys got 3 towns, good for them. But as you can see, the victory points didn't add up quite so much. It was really just this was a disaster. But that's okay. That's why we didn't pay. That's why we got them at a cheap price, right? Okay, I think that's about it. Unless anyone has any specific questions about how this game went down, I really think that this is so. The best break that I got in this game was I got onto this big building tile twice early. That is absolutely critical because these extra 2 workers are really an extra 4 workers. In a game, like with a faction where you barely build any dwellings early, those extra 8 workers that I got off of this tile plus 4 points, that was absolutely critical in terms of me getting out 14 structures with a color neighbor. Which also enabled me to get this second town and take high-scoring towns at the end here. So hopefully this is a little instructive as to how to play treasures. Again, I got lucky. I wouldn't play exactly in this way. I wouldn't prioritize exactly the same hexes. I wouldn't necessarily build this temple even, but because I got the right breaks, I was able to get away with it. So hopefully everyone enjoyed this. I will try to get a game tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see y'all then too as well. So, see y'all. Bye.